Jay's a City fan. Jay, good morning. You're
Good
Manchester
morning.
City, mate. Are they're not admired in the way they should be, or are they?
This is just, do you know what? If I could have, you must have been up all night writing this script. It must have taken you 5 minutes, whoever's involved in this. It's standard procedure. And this
Not
guy
even that much.
previously has just proven, it's like Pavlov's dog, isn't it? Let's be fair.
Yeah.
You guys ring the bell, Jim sits there, sensationalising everything. City have just won a European game, but yet again, it's reverted back to manufactured club, 115 charges, blah, 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 blah. So what you're appealing to is your numbers. You're appealing to your matches.
Jay, that's not me saying that.
No,
this is the reaction that's coming in.
No, it's not coming in, because what it is if you know what
It's in front of me.
Pavlov's about, Jim, you know what Pavlov's, you ring the bell and you'll get United fans, Liverpool fans, Arsenal. It's not organic. What a load of codswallop. Liverpool were in the second division for 7 years and spent fortunes to get out of the second division, and the rest is history. They put everything in place and became a wonderful football club. But it came from a base of buying 2 players, unheard of at the time, and spending the equivalent of 30, 40 million. So let's pretend that all these clubs come from this organic back. It's a load of rubbish. They spend money, and they spend money well, and they get the right people in, and they generate success. United did it. Late 80s, they hadn't won the league for 20-odd years. Then they spent a fortune when the Premier League was on the horizon, because they were right in amongst all that, along with all the other 5.
So Jay, I'm not saying this to you, but there's one message coming in. Listen to me. Morning, Jim. City will never get the recognition of the likes of Arsenal, Manchester United, because those 2 clubs didn't cheat the system.
What? Hang on a minute. So we're talking about rules that weren't in place in football for 120 years until Manchester City's owners came along. And who invented the rules? United, Liverpool, Arsenal, Tottenham. If people can't see what's right in front of them, I'm not saying City are innocent or City are guilty until we're here. They were disproven under the CAS arbitration, but everybody still says they're guilty. And no matter what happens, people within the mainstream media who are red-centric will always push this agenda, no matter what City do. It's great to hear Danny actually say something about the football, because that's what it's about.
But with respect, Jay, everybody does say something about the football. And what happens with you, Manchester City? Yes, they do, Jay, because we've all just said it.
No, but you're caveating it. I heard you say the word guilty about Europe being banned. No, not guilty. Found innocent.
Because the character... Well, you weren't. You were found guilty by UEFA, and then you were moved along by CAS. And what happens with Man City fans, you guys, is you get praise, and you take that, and then when you get a bit of criticism, you can't have that, because you've got some sort of inferiority complex.
No, Simon, do me a favour. Let me have my say.
Go on, then.
I don't mind people... of course, this will hang over us. But what it's used as is used as a stick, like Jim's done. He sat there after watching a near perfect performance in Europe with 11 footballers on the pitch. That's it. Doesn't matter how they got there. Like every other club, like Real Madrid, like PSG, like Barcelona have. They've all spent money. Don't pretend that any of these football clubs have achieved anything without spending money. Alex Ferguson was at the helm of it all. United spent fortunes in the late 80s after not winning anything for 25 years.
But nobody's pretending that, Jay. We just said that. We just said Man United have spent more money than anybody.
They don't just appear overnight. What Manchester City have done is, do you know what? The besmirching has been absolutely relentless from the get-go, and it's been driven by the red mainstream media. That's simple as that.
I think. Let me think.
Red mainstream media.
Well, it's Liverpool, Man U, all like Arsenal. I know what he means, but the reality is,
It's a red-centric radio station. It's aiming at your market.
That's nonsense. But don't worry, Jay. Here's Danny.
The reality is, listen. I've said this all along. Over years, and when there weren't any rules, the teams with the most money brought the best players in. Hence, the fact they had successes. What Jim, I think you're talking about, is what's more memorable, more respected, and all that. it's kind of irrelevant. People who love football and understand football and have been in the game a long time admire amazing teams and amazing players and, coaches who bring something new, fresh, tactically brilliant, and something we haven't seen before. And Pep's done that. And no matter what you think of the politics behind and how they've got there and a few extra quid here and a sponsorship deal here, the fact is, in 10 years, people will be looking back at the City group of players and going, they were
Let's hope
incredible.
So. Jay, we're late, but I'm going to give you this opportunity. You finish this for me. Tell me what we're watching then in Manchester City. What are we watching right now in your Manchester City?
The thing is, I'll always be biased, like every single football fan. I've heard that City's football is boring. The Champions League is now boring because the same teams are going to win it. It's the same little nuances dropped in by the mainstream media. I'm watching the greatest football team I've ever seen, in my humble opinion. Copenhagen beat United twice, and we made them look like a second division side. Control the football. Yeah, people might. It's not 100 miles an hour like Liverpool. Liverpool's football is brilliant. I love watching Liverpool. I hate them, and I love watching them. I'm not just being honest. I love watching Tottenham. Don't like Tottenham. Arsenal, again, it's a disciple of Pep. Pep, like Danny said, has changed from grassroots to the English national side, has changed everything, and that is his legacy, and that is what City are doing.
Jay,
if City don't win anything, for me, they've done enough.
Jim White and Simon Jordan, Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app, and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.